Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Dalton Smith, one of the UK's most celebrated prospects currently. How are you getting on?
Yeah, not too bad. Just I'm in camp now, so we had a little Christmas dinner, a few little treats, but other than that, it's just camp life as usual.
And you're in camp now. When do you expect to next be out?
Hopefully, sure, at the end of January or beginning of February. We're just waiting on some confirmation. Hopefully, we should know in the next week or so. But should hopefully be on one of those dates.
Given everything that's going on with all sports at the moment, how fortunate do you feel now that you're able to get out twice in 2020?
Yeah, obviously, I'm one of the lucky ones. There's a lot of, especially the small hole fighters where, they haven't been able to fight this year. And, I can imagine it's frustrating for him because even though I've been out twice, it's been frustrating for me. I haven't been as active as I'd have liked to have been. But, it's with the circumstances what everybody's living with at the minute. I'm one of the lucky ones.
And you talked about kind of not being out as much as you like, but one of the two outings you did have was at fight camp, the first week of fight camp. You had a lot of people, observers, raving about you after that performance against Nathan Bennett. It was a step up, certainly on paper, but you made it look relatively comfortable and exciting too, which is obviously important. How did you find the whole experience, especially there being no fans in attendance?
Yeah, obviously it was something different, and everybody who watched fight camp, you seen for yourself how good the setup was and what Matchroom and Eddie Earn did. It was unbelievable. So in itself, that was an experience. And Nathan Bennett would have been a fight what I'd have had in one more fight, two more fights. But with the fight camp circumstances, we had to take those fights, and obviously it was a step up for me in my career. And I knew I had to perform that night, and I put a great performance in.
Have you watched it back since? Were you kind of, when you watch your fights back, are you kind of more impressed than you were the first time? Are you quite self-critical? How does that process work?
To be honest, I usually watch it once and then that's it. But I always watch back and I think, wait, I should have done this, I should have done that. But I think as a fighter, you've got to be critical on yourself because, there's always room for improvement. I'm early on in my career and, I'm going to have much harder fights out there. And, I've got to watch them back and see what I've got to put right.
You're developing a very impressive rate. You're in such a good gym as well. That must be a big bonus to your development because at this stage of your career, no disrespect to Nathan Bennett and the guys you fought previously, you must be getting better work and learning more in the gym than you are in the ring at this stage.
Of course, yeah. Obviously, my dad's my coach at Steel City, and the setup we've got down there and the team and the bond we've got, that it all works well and it comes together. And I've got a great management team, promotional team behind me. All those click together and gel well. And I think I'm very lucky to be in the position I'm in at the stage of my career for it to take off in the next couple of years.
And talking of the next couple of years, we'll look at next year specifically. I say that I don't know when this video is going to go out. It probably will be 2021 as it's New Year's Eve today as we record it. Where do you see yourself by the end of next year, assuming you're able to get out as much as you'd like to? English title, British title, what are you sort of looking at by the end of 2021?
That's it. That's the route what I want to be going down towards the English and, push on for a British title shot next year. But obviously I've got to get myself in the position to be eligible to fight for that. But, obviously we're still in a pandemic and we don't know what's going to happen with the new rules and stuff. So we've got to take every fight at a time and, try and not rush things because, in a couple of months, we could be in a totally position that everybody's in now. So, I think we've got to take it day by day, month by month. But, I want to try and be more active this year, which I think, touch wood, that's what will happen. And, every fight's a step up for me. I want to hopefully get some sort of title for my next fight, maybe a youth title, international or something. So, my team's working on that. But other than that, it's, I'm young. I ain't got to rush things.
How confident are you in terms of weight that where you are now is going to be roughly where you are when you start challenging for championships? Because you're 23, you may have stopped growing frame-wise, but you're probably still filling out a bit.
Of course, yeah, I've still got maturing to do. Obviously, I'm quite mature for the weight and strong for the weight, but I'm 23. I'm going to have another growth spurt. I'm going to fill out more into the weight. So obviously, this comes over time, and I believe when by the time next year comes, when I'm pushing towards a British title, and I've got the rounds under my belt, I think my ability's there now, to beat the guys out there. But in the professionals, it's a business and it's a totally different game to the amateurs. And, I've just got to learn to become a 12-round fighter.
You spoke about your management team earlier, STM, who've recently launched. Just tell us, first of all, why you joined up with them, and then what it means to you that you were one of the first guys to go with them. It says a lot about their faith in you.
Yeah, definitely. But to be honest, my relationship come with Sean O'Toole, who's part of the STN team, and I built a relationship up when he was at a different company through the amateurs. We just literally become friends, just talked about how he could help me, and Sean was never one to push me towards the professionals. He wanted me to follow the Olympic route, but obviously with the circumstances, with the injuries and the weights, I turned over, and it was earlier than expected. And Sean's been part of my team since day one, and I couldn't ask for any better from him. He's him and Paul Reddy from STN, they're the good people, and they're in it for the right reasons, and I believe they're the right people to guide my career, and I'm looking forward to it. And with us being a close team, a close-knit team, I think that's what you need to reach the top.
What things will change that people might notice, the fact that you've linked up with a management company now? So from the outside, will anything change?
Sean's always been my manager from day one. It's just they set this new company up now, and obviously that's who he runs under. So Sean's always run everything through my career. And obviously now it's a company what's set up, and more fighters will be joining, and I believe it'll be one of the best, one of the great companies out there in the next couple of years, or if not even sooner.
And that's helpful, presumably, in terms of, manoeuvring you into the fights you want to have, sponsorship and endorsements, that kind of thing. And also just taking some of the pressure off you, and you can just focus purely on the training and the fighting.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, you see a lot of fighters what are self-managed, more so when they reach the highest stage of their career. But at the end of the day, I'm in this game, and I'm just there to fight. I don't want none of the stresses outside of the ring. What's going to affect any fights, any camps, and that's why I leave everything to my dad, Sean, Paul Reddy at STN, and it's the easier life is for me outside of the ring, the better I'm going to perform.
Everyone is talking about you, particularly in British boxing circles, as being a hot prospect, can't miss prospect, which is always one of those touch wood moments. But how do you manage to keep your feet on the ground? Because you've always seemed very down to earth.
Yeah, I've always been the same. I treat everyone how I'd like to be treated, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighter. And if obviously I work hard, and I believe if I work hard that I'll achieve what I've set out to do. And it's at the end of the day, I'm no better than anybody else. So I'm just in a sport where I want to achieve great things, and obviously I believe I'm going to achieve those, and I'm still going to be the same person. It's not going to change me.
Great stuff. Well, really appreciate your time. Look forward to getting a date announced for your next one, and we'll be watching with interest.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Oh, man. Thank you, Danny.